Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to give you a good look at the newest Omega Seamaster Professional Ceramic Wave Dial in black on bracelet. This is just a gorgeous execution, very impressive watch from Omega. Now they've been needing to update the Seamaster for some time now. And I'm happy to report that they didn't just tweak it, they didn't just do a few updates. This is an entirely redesigned, brand new model, new case, new bracelet, new dial, new maxi applied markers, new enlarged skeleton handset, new movement for the line, a new clasp. This is a brand new model, and it feels way different than the outgoing Seamaster, which was already a really great watch. Now this one's bigger, more contemporary looking. It's very, very sharp, excellent finish work, excellent attention to detail, and it just pops like nothing else. That dial is gorgeous. I would say that this compares a little bit more favorably to my Planet Ocean 8500. You can see they're a similar size. The bracelet on the new Seamaster is a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Just really cool to see them side by side there. So let's talk about the new Seamaster. I'll put some dimensions here on the screen and talk about how it fits. My wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference, and I really like the way it melds on my wrist here. This is very sharp and dynamic as you can get. I mean, you glance to look at the time, and yes, it is very legible, but your eyes just are drawn to all the different facets and reflections and levels and different finishing, and you can almost get lost just looking at this beautiful watch. Omega just hit it out of the park here with the wrist presence, the fit and the finish, and the technology too. This is a new and improved model. The bezel action is loads better than the outgoing generation. And let me give you a sample of that. You can hear nice clicks, no play in between positions. The grip is still not the best, but that's just the nature of the scalloped design. And I would say that the indexing here is brighter, has more contrast, and is more legible than the model that this replaces. So really nice that they listen to us watch enthusiasts that have been clamoring for improved legibility and improved bezel action on the Seamaster. Now take a look at this beautiful dial. Let's go in on a macro level. You can see a laser engraved wave pattern harkening back to the Bond era, which was a lot more, I guess you could say, subtle and finely put together. This has larger gaps, a longer wave, and I think just looks really, really sharp. The light play that comes off the gloss surface it's just awesome. Now the inlays there where the laser has engraved into the ceramic kind of has more of a matte effect. So if you look at it straight on, it almost disappears. And then again, if you get it in the right light, all the contrast just really pops. And you see those maxi applied markers in all of their glory. They look really good. And if you'll notice here, the center of each application, the loom is a little bit higher than it is in elevation than the perimeter of each one of those applications. So it has kind of a domed 3D effect to it. And I think just enhances how much it pops and how legible it is. Let me give you a quick side-by-side with my GMT Master 2. You can see that the new applied markers on the Omega are a little bit bigger in dimension, and I think a little bit more white. They stand out to a higher degree, and I do appreciate that. Now the movement that Omega is using is their Master Chronometer coaxial 8800 caliber, which you can see through a Sapphire Exhibition case back. What I like about this is, not just looking at the movement, but look outside the movement. Look at all the different finishing and edges that are going on here. We have polished, then we have brushed, then we have polished scalloped teeth there around the outside of the case back, and then there's matte finishing below that, and then you get to your polished case. So again, there's a lot visually going on. Looks really good. Those scalloped edges kind of tie in with your larger scallops of the bezel. So I like that detail, and then that movement is just so impressive. It's finished beautifully, and it's a lot thinner than the 8500 caliber that's in my Planet Ocean. And you guys can see the movement architecture is excellent. You have a free sprung balance wheel, silicone, and a full balance bridge, anti-magnetic, anti-shock, and very, very accurate. So these master chronometers, these are METIS certified, which is a lot more stringent and difficult to pass than your standard COSC testing that normal chronometers go through. So it's really impressive to see that. My only complaint is in the first position of the crown, instead of having a jump hour like you do on the Planet Ocean, they have removed that and they've just replaced it with a quick set date for your date at the 6 o'clock position. But other than that, this is just a really awesome release. There's not a lot of negative things to say about it. If I was going to say anything, it would be in reference to the bracelet. Now, the bracelet has been updated in its appearance. It's a little bit more linear, a little bit more sharp looking, and the edges here to each one of these links they're definitely a lot sharper than they are on other Omegas. Even the Planet Ocean that I have, which has more of a rounded finish on the edges. The new Seamaster is borderline hotspot, just with how sharp those edges are. Now take a look at this. This is kind of crazy. Look at the difference in size of the clasp. The new Seamaster is just huge. Now take a look at that. Now what I like is they have the push extension system here, where you can add some extra travel to the bracelet. And you'll notice you get quarter links on both sides, so you can get a great fit. My only complaint is they've continued to put the dive extension in there, which I think is a little superfluous. I don't think anyone's actually using that feature. It just bulks up the clasp a little bit more, but the clasp does look very, very sharp, as you guys can see. Now let me give you my final thoughts about the watch. I think it's incredibly impressive. This feels like just a sleek, contemporary classic. It's got great presence. It's got a great movement. The pop and just the overall feel of the watch, it feels higher than its retail price, which is $4,850. A little bit more than the $4,400 retail price of the outgoing Seamaster, but I think definitely worth the premium. In fact, I would put this head-to-head against the Rolex Submariner, which is an over $8,000 watch. And I would say that this is a nicer watch than the Rolex. I know that's kind of a bold statement, but it just packs a very mean punch at a far significantly less price point. And I've just really enjoyed my brief time with this watch. So again, let me pull that Planet Ocean out, give you guys one more side to side here. You can see it's definitely almost as big, if not bigger, and just really pops, really looks good. So I'm impressed. I think that if you're in the market for a good luxury, Swiss watch, you want to get something with history, with some name provenance, this one is really hard to beat. And I think over time, when the hype kind of dies down a little bit, these will be a little bit easier to source from authorized dealers. You can probably get deeper discounts, and again, that on the secondary market as well. But as it stands, this is an awesome watch, every bit worth the $4,800, and I think can go toe-to-toe with just about any other watch. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.